What's up, people? My name is Detroit Miracle, and I am here right now to have a political discussion. Yeah, well, we all know that political officials are elected by people of communities, and those such elected officials are supposed to represent the communities. Who really needs the elected officials the most? Think about it. Da 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 da. Poor people do, and especially poor communities. So the poor communities regarding the people in them depend mostly on elected officials to change things within their communities to improve the conditions. Yes, now, when you take people less dependent on political elected officials, you'll find middle class or rich people. Yeah, if rich people are rich and are independent and then they are totally self sufficient, then they do not really require any political official to change things in their lives for the better because those rich people are already wealthy and comfortable. Duh. And even in the case with middle class people that have extremely good jobs, look, they're making good money or good incomes at their profession so they can afford to move to a nicer community. They can more than afford to pay their bills and save some money so they aren't as dependent on elected officials as the poor people are. Okay, we all know that now, and many know before I even indicated that factor. Okay, my question is why would poor people depend on elected officials to personally change things in their impoverished conditions of a community when those such elected officials do not live there? Yeah, for the most part, many elected officials do not live in urban hood ghettos. No, chances are they live in exclusive communities, much like rich people do. So they do not have anything personally invested in poor communities. So why would they care personally about changing those communities? It seems to me that those such elected political figures or officials would want to preserve the honor, decency, cleanliness, and prosperity of their communities first and foremost, which are wealthy, rich communities or even upper middle class neighborhoods, because they actually live in those places. Hey, don't believe me? Check into it yourselves. Check into every political official which were elected to an office and find out where they live currently, as well as where they stayed while they were in office, while they were in office, rather. Check into it and get back to me and tell me whether I am wrong or right about that. Yeah, people. And it seems that's the general practice of people of every election who are doing bad, first and foremost. They become dependent on any type of elected official, whether they be of Democrat or Republican, to change things in their community dramatically and make them better. And why would you be dependent on those people when those people do not live next to you? They do not shop at the same supermarkets as you. They do not necessarily drive the same cars as you. And they have way more privileges than you do, so you are not like them, nor are they like you. You understand? Usually, like wealthy people hang around wealthy people. Suburbanites hang around other suburbanites. Poor people hang around poor people. People from the hood hang around other people from the hood. So the only people you can really depend upon is those that are like you, those that live where you live, those that brave the same hazardous conditions as you, and those that lack where you lack. Those are the only people that care enough to change things in their community. But some rich elected official way on the west side that stays up in a mountain is not going to care about what happens to people in a ghetto. Nope, nope, nope. You folks must realize that that is not going to happen. Never, ever. Yeah, that's a fact of the matter. And I think people are raised and trained and conditioned that way as to even if you grew up poor and you were in a impoverished community, that once you made it out of there and became successful and you stay in a much better place, that you do not really want to associate yourself directly with what you came out of in a negative way. That is, you only want to be immersed in privilege, fortunate, and benefits. And you know why? Because you do not want a constant reminder of growing up poor and in dangerous communities and in crime-ridden communities as well. You do not want that as a reminder. You might care a little bit about it, but that doesn't pertain to you anymore. So why would you even be vested in changing and improving those conditions there? And then in a lot of cases, those elected officials will just say, well, I'm just one person, so what do they expect me to do? There's been generations of poverty, unemployment, homelessness, racism, sexism. So who am I as an individual to change all of that? So I simply must play the game like everyone else does. Hey, I would much rather play the game and live well than to be played and living incredibly bad in the process. That's how people see it. They call that looking out for number one, numero uno, people. Yeah. Well, this concludes another political discussion. So I'd appreciate it if you would give me those likes, comments, and please subscribe to my channel, Detroit Miracle, and peace out.